Chairman, and welcome, Attorney General Holder. Very briefly, let me first express my view that the release of the OLC opinions was proper, was necessary, and was wise, and was particularly important in light of the damage that had been done to that office by its politicization during the Bush era. Frankly, those were opinions that had to be seen to be believed. And it really, I think, gave the legal community around the country a far better appreciation of the depth of the dive that that office took in that period to have those out entirely apart from all the other considerations. I think it was the right call, and I respectfully but completely disagree with the ranking member on that subject. Following up on OLC, Senator Durbin asked a few questions about the OPR investigation and its status. When we first asked, we were told on February 18th of 2008 that this investigation was already pending. So we know it predated February 18th of 08. We know that OPR completed its investigation and provided a draft report in late December of 08. We know that on May 4th of this year, the comment period for those who were the subjects of the investigation closed in their chance to respond to the draft. And we also know that the CIA was given a opportunity for both substantive comment and for classification review. My first question is it now the CIA, through its request for either substantive comment or through its role in classification review, that is holding up the release of this report?
No, it's no, it's not. Though that process might not be complete, there are other things that still have to be done within the Justice Department. I met yesterday with the head of OPR, who indicates there are still some things that they are working on in the preparation of the report, chiefly in response to the responses that were received, I guess, in early May or so, and they are dealing with that. She is new to the Office of Professional Responsibility, understands the seriousness of this particular report, and that's also had an impact on the timing of the release.
The role of the CIA, both in substantive comment and in classification review, raises some interesting potential conflicts of interest. Can you tell me what assurances the Department of Justice has received from the CIA that those who seek to influence the OPR report through substantive comment, or those who have the effect of delaying the report through classification review, are not complicit or involved in the underlying conduct? Have you got essentially a clean scrub of those at the CIA who are involved in those processes to assure that they're not tainted by the program that is the subject of the report?
Yeah. As I think I testified earlier, it is our hope to release as complete a report as we can. And one of the things that I think we want to do is to declassify as much of this report as we can, so that when people read it, either in this body or the general public, they'll have a full feeling for what it is our lawyers in the Office of Professional Responsibility dealt with, and what is the basis for the conclusions that they reached. And so we'll be pushing, as I said, to declassify as much of this report as we can, so that the American people will have a real sense of what it is that drove the conclusions that we reach.
I appreciate that, but it doesn't address the question of whatever assurances you got from the CIA that in the discharge of their either substantive comment or classification review roles, that the people involved in that, you can assure us, were actually had clean hands with respect to this program and are giving legitimate, untainted, unbiased, unimplicated advice.
Yeah, I don't think we have gotten anything yet from the CIA, at least nothing that I'm aware of, with regard to what their position is concerning the declassification issue. And so I think I'd have to wait for that and see. There may be this may be not an issue at all. And to the extent that it is an issue, then I would interact with Director Panetta and raise the questions that you raise, in addition to just our general feeling that we want to have as much of this declassified as we possibly can. I mean, it'll be the director, I think, will ultimately make the decision, who I don't think is actually tainted by it. I would be dealing with him in trying to make determinations as to what should be and should not be declassified.
And on the question of their substantive comment on the contents of the report, how do you assure that that isn't tainted by people who are implicated in the program?
I'm actually less...
Isn't that an important point? Maybe we're talking across each other.
No,
is it or is it not important that the CIA, in exercising its substantive comment role that it sought and in performing the declassification review, should be doing so in a manner that keeps the agency's hands clean of implication in the underlying subject of the report?
Yeah, I'm less worried about the substantive comments. I mean, I think we certainly would invite the comments from any involved agency, but ultimately it'll be the Justice Department lawyers who will make the determination as to what goes in the report, the conclusions that the report reaches. And so I certainly want to give them the opportunity to express whatever their views are. But that...
Would they be likely to evaluate the recommendations of the CIA differently if, on the one hand, the CIA had not assured the department that its recommendations were coming from individuals who had clean hands versus those who did not? Is that not an important factor in evaluating the substantive comment that the CIA would seek to propose?
Yeah, I guess those are things that one would take into consideration, but so much of this is really fact-driven. That, I think, is what people, I think, will find in the report. It is fact-driven, really, and the conclusions that one draws from the facts, I guess, can differ, but ultimately it'll be the Justice Department's view that will control based on the facts that we have uncovered. But as I said, taking into account whatever other views people have of those same facts.
Thank you, Attorney General. My time has expired, Chairman.